Greetings, world! Greetings, world. Oz Hairy Game Lords have been playing this. Hyper Wars. Dice Coalition Games. What did we think? Find out. Bearded Lady here, and look at that box art. Ooh, that is nice. Very nice. And the artwork continues throughout the game. The player boards have got the nice districts. They've got some really nice artwork on there. On the these little what are these little things?
Tiles.
The little tiles, good.
What is this?
Brilliant. What's this? It's a tile.
What are these meeples I see before me?
Artworks on the tiles. Thanks.
They're your improvement tiles.
Brilliant. Improvement tiles, good. Artworks on there, nice. And then even on
the cards. Thick cards.
These are cards. These are cards, brilliant. On the cards, the nice kind of stylized, simple. And they need to be simple because you are seeing them at a frantic speed as they are passed to you. You are collecting them into your hand, playing them and throwing them at the next player, passing them on to the next player with speed. Yeah, so I initially enjoyed this game. I think the first level, we just played it without any kind of enhancements, and it was frantic, and I managed to do some good stuff. Second time we played it through, we added in some enhancements. I got 0 points. I was too busy working on the enhancements to actually even qualify for points in any of the districts. But what a great enhancement. Where's the one that I really liked? This one, really like this bad boy here. This one here, you can... so there's only kind of 3 cards in play. You can... So all those cards you're getting, if you're getting like a load of like produce cards, you can just hand on all of your produce cards. You only have to use the action once, but you hand on all the others to the other player. And of course, any cards they have left at the end of the 5 minutes or at the end of the timer counts towards negative points. Wah, wah. Yeah, I enjoyed the game. Now, this is a frantic game. If you like, what's the thing?
A nice heavy Euro.
A heavy Euro, you may struggle with this one. But if you like 5-minute dungeon or escape games, this is in that realm there. So there's, but you're fighting against other people in those games. They're cooperative. Here it is competitive, and there's some strategy involved as well. For me, it's a little bit too much of a brain burner, but it's still a good game, and I can appreciate that this is still a good game and one well worth checking out when it hits Kickstarter.
Hi there, it's Pete the Hipster King with my thoughts on Hyper Wars. So for me, this is a step up. I use Ligretto as my kind of intro game for new gamers. It's frantic, but it's dead simple. You're playing fast, trying to get those cards out, and this has got that feel. But what this has got that Ligretto doesn't is you actually have to think about what you're doing, just not to respond to numbers and colours. You are actually having to do a little bit of strategy. And doing strategy fast in a 5-minute timed game is really hard. To be fair to him, I was quite surprised, being as he's the oldest man at the table. But Dave absolutely wiped the floor with us, which I'm sure he will tell you about. So in terms of how the game plays, it is a actually really simple game. There are basically, it's one of those things where there are 3 things that you can do.
3.
You can deploy or move one of your workers, your meeples. You have 10 meeples that are going to... Basically, you're trying to get area control on one of 4 districts. This is 4 districts if there are 4 players. So here are a couple of the districts. You get that kind of 80s artwork feel, 80s sort of sci-fi. Really, really nice looking artwork. Thanks, James. I'm going to continue. I'm going to say... So you have these... That they have got a space for a 5-player game as well if you're in. So you can turn those over. And you can only place into one district or one area on this district. If you want to move, you'd have to move off that district and back into a different space. Why might you want to move? Well, there might be the right kind of resources that you need on this district. But how do you get resources, you may ask? Well,
How do you get resources?
let me tell you how you get resources. You use this card, the produce card. The produce card allows you to take any 3 resources from the sort of central store, place them into your lucky bag, and then you're going, in essence, you're doing a bit of bag building. There's even a little bit of quacks in there for those that like quacks, but it's like quacks on speed, speed quacks if you like, and you're going to be dipping in. So you drop your 3 new bricks in there, and then you're going to pick 3 out and place them into your own stock. But we don't want them in our stock. We want those out on the districts, because if they're not on the districts, you're not going to be able to score the objectives that are on the district. Each district wants a specific type of resources, different numbers. So it might be 5 blue, 3 white. They're set out at random at the start of the game. So you then need to deliver. And the deliver card allows you to drop any number of the same colour resource out onto one square where you have got a worker. So you're putting out.
So good.
It's so you'll start. You can see you're trying to get those. You're trying to build your bag to get what you need into your stash. Then you're trying to get that out as quickly as you can. But while you're doing that, you're sort of. While I was doing that and taking time thinking about, right, I need to get. There's 5 over there, so I need to really. I'm going to put loads of white into my bag so I can get these 2 sorted. What? Then I play that card, pass it on to the person to my right, and then I have to pick up a card from the central deck and pick up the cards that are waiting for me. Now Dave was on my left. Dave was like flying through the cards. So every time I placed one card down for Andrew, I looked to my left and there were about 6 cards to pick up. So this is kind of, you can feel, already my anxiety is going up a little bit. This is a game that if you struggle with that kind of, let's go on. That's what your brain, that was the noise inside my brain the whole game. It was brilliant because of that. I didn't do very well. I was able to score a few points, but at the end of the game, every single 2 cards that you've got in your hand is worth -1 victory points, and you can score minus points. And I did score minus points in my first game, but I still loved it because Dave just kept giving me those cards. You then, and one last thing what I really like about this game in terms of learning. So you've got the base game. We played that. It made sense really, really quickly. But then you can start adding in. You've got the improvement tiles that give you kind of extra bonuses that you can use. Then there are the attack tiles. Attack tile. It's not a tactile. It's an attack.
They're so tiny.
Tile. And they are what they do is you place them down on any district. And at the end of the game, they're all turned over on one district at a time, and they score off in number order, and they all do different things. So this one allows you to burn anybody else's attack tile. The sleeper agent allows you to use clones. Clones basically increase your area majority, so that's really so you can grab a clone into your area. Reinforcements allows you to do another deploy action, so you can increase your area majority, give you more chance of scoring higher points. And finally, data leak, which allows you to swap the objective tiles around. So if you can see that somebody's bound to win big points, you can prevent them from winning by moving these objective tiles on.
Dirty.
It's really, so it can get really dirty, this game, really nasty. But of course, that will only work if you've got a high enough number on that card. If your number is low down and somebody's got one of the red attack cards, they can clear your one out the way if they know they're going to win that tile. So there's a lot. It's a fast game. Actually, the scoring bit often takes almost as long as the 5 minute that the game play takes. Absolutely frantic. Loved it. If you like fast games, if you like your strategy, definitely check this one out. Hyper Wars. Get back in it.
Hi, Dave the Grey. Now, I'm going to talk slower than Pete did because I'm old, apparently. However, with age comes wisdom. Let me impart some wisdom. In this game, you are going to lose points. It's as simple as that. If you get more than 2 cards at the end, and given that every single time you play a card, you're picking up a card and getting one from next door, unless you're sat next to James, who's just sat there going, what do I do with all these cards? And then you don't end up with none. But you are going to end up with more cards than you started with, just because you're taking them all the time. You're going to lose some points. However, see these? These give you points. And what do points mean, people?
Prizes.
Prizes! The trick with this game is to minimise how many points you lose. So, that needs 5 red, 5 white. If you get more than 5 red and 5 white, you start losing points.
Ooh.
Don't do it! It's simple! So all you have to do is produce loads of stuff, put it on the square, and then... See the deliver card? You can get rid of those extra ones, move them somewhere where you want them. It's that easy.
He's so wise.
Wisdom, you see. And this, to be honest, is how I managed to
He's so old.
absolutely crucify these guys. Because, I mean, I think James ended up with half the deck in his hand.
I still ended up with positive points though.
So he says. But think about what you need, get what you need. Anything that you don't need there, move it away. That's the trick. And yes, some of those extra things that you get when you're playing the more advanced games, the tile that lets you take basically 3/4 of your hand and go, there you go, Pete, have all of my cards, is a thing of absolute beauty. And I think Pete then did it to Ange, who did it to James, who then didn't do it to me. So, woohoo! Not that me and James have a thing going on at all. I wouldn't like you to think that we were in any way enemies. But this, I think, was probably just my level of frantic. So, yeah, if you like having to think really fast and on your feet, think throw burrito, but without throwing stuff at each other, and a little bit more tactics, and that's the kind of level of frantic that you're probably talking, but with less breakages. So yeah, if you like a frantic game, but you want to have a little bit of a think while you're going on, this is probably the game for you. The art, as Anne says, is fantastic. If you like sort of 2000 AD sort of artwork, fits in beautifully. Got to give it 2 thumbs up. It was just a lot of fun in not very much time at all. Can't say fairer than that.
Slightly Beardy James here. Oh my goodness, did I get shouted at in this game? Oh man. Right, I'm going to put it out there. This was faster than I was ready for. Although, I really like a nice theme. So the thing that caught my eye straight off the bat was Flying Party. Oh, the theme of this game is like one that's kind of like I really like old Syndicate stuff where you kind of got your agents and you're deploying them. And, oh yeah, and you're deploying your agents and you're trying to kind of surreptitiously do stuff. In this game, like, it just felt to me funny. Like it was like a really odd kind of mismatch of just frantic, crazy cyber agents. So these kind of high-tech teams were just, I mean, at least on my part, wildly thrashing about the table. Not on the table, okay. But like you got your resources and you've got red weapons and you've got white cloning matrices, and you've got... Okay, this is the problem. Basically, all of these high-tech cybernetic people keep all of their resources together in a dark room and you just randomly grab at them. And you're like, what are we going to take to the field today? I don't know. I'm going to take a couple of weapons and some cloning matrices and just see what we can do with them. Like, I find that...
You're overthinking it, James.
Yeah, I'm overthinking it. Basically, this game was too fast for me and I got shouted at by Dave and it made me feel stupid. If you like frantic games which will stretch you, this is a brilliant game for that. I really love how they ramped it up and ramped it up and ramped it up. Pete took us through all of the kind of like included expansions inside of it, and it does sound cool. I am personally too slow for this game, and yeah, it wasn't one for me. But I don't think there are many games that are like this: competitive, frantic, and strategic all at the same time. If that is your cup of tea,
go for it because it is a really good one. If you are slow like me, just watch it and and cheer it on for its own special kind of place in the world. Yes.
Like yourself, James.
Like myself. Yes. Watch me, cheer me on, and I will have my own special place in the world.